Good evening and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. We're going to make something so fast tonight. This is probably the simplest embellishment I've ever made for a swap or anything. This is for the Forever Faith swap on Ginger's Corner. And I used this die cut, the crosses. And I got this on Amazon. If you just search for crosses die cut, this should come up. I actually have two of them because my friend borrowed one and I thought she did. And then I said, do you have that cross die cut? And she said, no, I never did get it. And so I ordered another one thinking that I had just totally lost it. And then she found it. So anyway, I have two of them now, which came in pretty handy because we used it to decorate 100 bags here a while back, and it came in pretty handy having two of them. So anyway, this is really simple. Like I said, it's probably one of the simplest ones I've ever done for a swap. And so while I'm just gluing these down, I'm going to do a real short, just think about it kind of twist tonight. This is the week before Easter, Holy Week. And so I just was going to say a little bit about that. We had Palm Sunday at our church on Sunday, and we always put the palm branches down the aisles, and it was really neat. And then Thursday night we'll have a Lord's Supper, a special Lord's Supper, and that's always neat. And then of course Sunday is Easter Sunday. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about, very briefly, about that Holy Week, the Holy Week, the week that Jesus entered triumphantly into Jerusalem, and people were laying palm branches in the road and laying their garments in the road because he was coming into town. You know, some of those people were thinking that he absolutely was the Messiah. And some of them were thinking that he was there just to save them from the Romans. But I don't think any of them on that day when he was making that triumphant entry into Jerusalem, or even during that week, had any idea what would be happening. And even though he had told his disciples what was going to happen, that he was going to be betrayed and eventually end up on a cross, I don't even think they realized what was about to happen. But as the week unfolded, and the Pharisees had just had all of his popularity that they could stand. He was such a threat to them. And they managed to get Judas to betray him. The week ended in what seemed like a tragedy for many because he was crucified. But he arose. And that's, our pastor calls it Super Bowl Sunday for Christians, because he arose. They crucified him, they beat him, they mocked him, and yet they couldn't keep him in the grave. So as you go through this week, and as I go through this week, I want to think about the events of that actual week that he came to Jerusalem and walked those streets and then carried that cross up the hill. Of course, we know that Simon, they ended up getting Simon the Cyrene to finish carrying it, and they nailed him to that cross. And it was for me and it was for you. And he didn't have to do it, and yet he did it because he loved us so much. And so in appreciation and gratitude, we owe him our lives. And we certainly wouldn't have eternal life without that gift. So as this week unfolds, and let's just try to keep that thought in our minds. Okay, I've just about got this lettering done, which I tried to do it quickly. I hope I didn't get them too crooked. I've already mailed the actual ones for the swap. This one will be mine. And then I just trimmed this down so that it would fit behind that. Oops, I gotta glue this. Let me kind of talk to you a little bit about how I got what what the holy ground is mounted on. If you have a Cricut or a Silhouette, you know what I'm talking about. You just do the offset. You type out what you want. You choose your font. You type out what you want. And there's on Silhouette, there's a star up there that looks like it has kind of looks like a Dallas Cowboys, the star for Dallas Cowboys, has a star inside of a star. And that's the offset. And if you click on that, it makes this background, the one I have in black, it makes that background. And then if you click on it again, it will make this background, the second background. And so that's what I do. And I did maneuver this one a little so that it would all be one piece instead of two pieces, but that's easy. It's a process called welding. You can move it and then weld it. And it works pretty good, and it allowed me to get it all on one background that way. Okay, there we have it. I told you it was going to be simple and short and sweet. So I hope you have a blessed Easter. I hope you think this week of the things that took place that Holy Week while Jesus was in Jerusalem and teaching and then being betrayed and then put on that cross. So think about what actually happened that week and have a blessed week and be a blessing to someone else.